this needs to be prefaced with two things. However you think this reality works is exactly the way it'll work for you. However you say it is will be how it is, okay? So you literally make up the rules. If you don't want to affirm, you don't have to, right? That's the amazing part of all of this, okay? And the second thing is, and obviously if you don't want to do anything, no techniques, whatever you want to do is what will, however you say it will work is what will work. And then the second thing was, when I say higher you, God you, I don't mean something separate from you. I mean you. That's you. It's a part of you. Same with the ego. That's also a part of you, right? Your ego identity is actually very helpful. A lot of people are like, oh, no ego, try to get rid of the ego. No, it's integration. It's very helpful. It helps you to figure out what's going on, right, with you, if something's limiting you or anything that's blocking you, right? So they work together. They can be integrated together, and that's the best, right? So anyway, on to the video.
I was gone for 2 months traveling, well, off and on, and then I literally just became a CEO like 3 weeks ago, so it's been pretty crazy. But I'm a certified bona fide CEO now, guys. But I'm probably gonna do a video on how I became a CEO and confidence and all that in maybe my next video. If you guys want to see it, just let me know, okay?
I have been not doing things the traditional way, and I'm going to explain what I've been doing. I kind of just got fed up with the fact that everybody's just selling you a technique. They're basically telling you how to live your life. Like, you know what I mean? And it's really like, if you really think about it, they're literally telling you how to live your life. They're like, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. Actually, you should be doing this. And they're kind of changing a lot as well. Like every single time you listen to a new video, you get a new way to live your life. And that's literally have been, instead of, doing all these techniques or even doing anything that any technique that I resonated with, like, let's say, because I used to do visualizing, I used to do, affirming, right? And, instead of doing any of those, I've actually been doing this thing called nothing. Okay, let me explain it. I've been doing this thing called being really present. So it's actually not nothing, but I've not been doing techniques is what I mean by nothing, right? So I've just been doing, being present, and it's so funny because Wayne Dyer talks about this. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. All the yoga books talk about this. Like, it's something that I read at the very beginning before I even really stumbled upon manifesting. I was into this whole being present thing a long time ago, like when I was like 9 years old, right? And my mom got me a meditation book. Like, I was all into the idea of being really, really present. And this whole thing we call the human experience has sort of gotten lost in the dust of manifesting, right? So instead of, being really, really present when we're washing the dishes or, taking a shower and like feeling how wonderful it feels, or just doesn't even have to be positive. It could just be being present, like in the moment. We're instead doing all these techniques, like, oh, when can I fit in a visual? Oh, like, instead of being really present in the shower and doing, this ritual type thing, we're instead affirming the whole time, right? Which kind of like takes our presence away from what we're truly doing, like washing the dishes or going for a walk or doing anything, doing laundry, writing in your journal or whatever. Like, just there's this power in being present and just living the human experience. And I actually have this amazing story to tell you about how I've been behaving lately and why I'm not doing the techniques and the traditional manifesting, or why I haven't been doing it this whole couple months. And to be honest, I haven't not been getting what I wanted, right? It's the opposite. I've been getting more of what more of what's benefiting me. Things are happening better, and I feel like faster for me now than when I was like trying to manifest or, doing the techniques. And a lot of that energy carries with it the fact that you're doing something to get something, right? So, unless you don't even have like that 5% energy that's doing it to get something, you're putting yourself in a stuck place. You're putting yourself in the hole, right? If you are doing something to get something, even if it's just a 2%, which I would say 90%, maybe even 95% of people are doing it to get something partially, right? Even if most of them is saying like, oh, I already have it, it's done, it's all good, even if most of you is having that energy, there's still a little bit of you that still feels like you need it, that it's not here right now, or else you wouldn't be doing techniques, right? So unless you're totally zenned out and you are being present and your techniques just feel really good, then that's the exception, right? But most of what I see is just people like trying to get something, right? And that is a big problem in my eyes. So that's what I've just been not doing anything normal, any normal manifesting. But what I have been doing, which is what I'll get into, is I've been, this thing's off. I've been doing this thing called, this technique that I call live your life. It's the live your life technique. I'm just kidding, but it's just being present, okay? That's what I've literally been doing. I'm not calling it a technique. I was just kidding. But, it's just literally, day to day being really present. And even if that means, in my human experience, being really upset about something, and I'll give you a really good story about, I'll give you a really good story about what something happened where I was just really, really present. And I hadn't changed the story. I hadn't started affirming. I hadn't started doing anything. And I literally was blown away at what happened. So, there's this whole thing about non-duality and how you're already a part of your, your desire is already a part of your world. So there's really no getting. There's nothing to get, nothing to receive. And the thing is the higher you or God knows what you want, and sometimes it's not even about being specific, to be honest. And that's kind of what I'm getting at with this whole thing. Like, really, if you for example, the other day I was going to the coffee shop, and it's nothing specific, right? Like what I mean is, I didn't have anything specific in mind that I wanted, right? But I know my favorite drinks, and I didn't have to be specific. But guess what was waiting there for me? A free coffee drink, one of my 4 favorite coffee drinks that I normally get. And no, I don't go to Starbucks. They're terrible and have pesticides in all their products. It's a different shop. But and I couldn't have sat there and picked a better drink for that morning, right? It was divine, just knowing. It was higher me knowing what is, I'm just saying, there's a bigger thing going on here. Human you doesn't have to always know. Human you does not have to always know. You don't have to be specific. You can just live your life, And so this whole non-duality thing has really got me thinking and knowing that I'm one with everything, right? And so there really is no struggle. There's no giving and there's no receiving. It's just, it just is, right? It's just a part of who you are. And so anyway, I just wanted to make this video. I'm gonna expand upon this topic. If you have any questions, let me know. I just wanted to share this with you guys and just let you know that I've completely changed my perspective on this whole creating your reality thing. And it's almost like taking it full circle, because these guys like Wayne Dyer, the yoga books that I used to read, like I was talking about when I was a kid, all talk about being present and the power of being present and living your life, right? So if I were to call this a technique, I would call it the living your life technique, right? Like, being present in all your emotions doesn't matter. It does not matter. You're always being guided to what's perfect for you, and you really don't have to be so specific, and pummel yourself with these affirmations and stuff, especially if it doesn't feel good, right? Especially if it's not right for you or doesn't feel like, I just got, to be honest, I just got sick of doing it. I was like, I don't need to do this. I don't feel that I need to do any of this, right? And it really was I don't know if I want to say an epiphany, but something like that, right? So I don't feel the need to do any of that, and I'm just going to start talking about this, you know, and not to say that you don't, well, I'm not saying not to if it feels like you want to, right? But I am saying, you know, if it feels like you have to do it to get something, or it's like a mandatory thing where you have to do some sort of technique to get something, then forget about it, you know, and maybe just lean towards the fact that it's all done, you know, and nothing needs to be done, not even a technique, not even visualizing, not even, you know, these allotments of where these times where you have to affirm, right? Not even that, right? So I just want to just put it out there and just let you know that I've switched my, you know, my way of doing things a little bit, and I'm going to talk more about it as well. So let me know how you love this video and give me a thumbs up. And if you want more like this, stick around. I'd love to have you. And if you love Neville transformation and my unique perspective, stick around. Bye, guys.